Alright, this last one we're going to be, well, not the last fight, but the next one we're talking about Neil Magny versus Max Griffin. I'm picking Neil Magny with a pretty decent amount of confidence. I also think that minus 200 is a pretty good line for him. You could maybe add him onto that 2-fight parlay that I'm going to have in the comments. I've also mentioned it a couple of times throughout the videos and also in the intro. I'm going to go with Neil Magny here. I think he's just a bit better than Max Griffin, and that's kind of the truth of it. Max Griffin's about 36 years old. This is really his last and potentially only opportunity to jump into the rankings, which is why I think we're going to have such a big I guess rankings difference, I guess you could say, or a massive step up in competition with Max Griffin. I do feel bad for Neil Magny though. I do feel really bad for him because he's been calling out Khamzat Chimaev pretty much this whole time, and every time Khamzat Chimaev is like, no one wants to fight me, Neil Magny will put his hand up on Twitter or he'll do something and he'll be like, I want to fight you. Dana White will be, no one wants to fight Khamzat Chimaev, and Neil Magny will be like, I want to fight Khamzat Chimaev. And the poor Neil Magny, man, he never got to fight Khamzat Chimaev, even though he was literally at one point the only fighter calling for it. Apart from Gilbert Burns as well, and they obviously gave him Gilbert Burns, and at one point, even before the Gilbert Burns talks were there, Neil Magny was the only one that wanted to fight Khamzat. He never got the opportunity, bro. I feel bad for him, man. He wouldn't have beaten Khamzat, but it still sucks. Anyway, Neil Magny is my pick. Minus 200 I think is a really good tag. He's a good enough striker, I think, to utilize this 80-inch reach over the 76-inch reach over Max Griffin. He's also going to be 4 inches taller. He's got good wrestling as well. He's got good enough wrestling to take Max Griffin to the ground and lay on top of him if he really needs to. I think he's got good enough striking to outstrike Max Griffin on the feet using that range advantage. He's got good wins. The Li Jingliang win has aged relatively well, I guess. Robbie Lawler as well, a win, an older Robbie Lawler. He lost to Michael Chiesa, but Michael Chiesa's alright, man. And he did beat Jeff Neal only 10 months ago, which is still, once again, a pretty decent win, in my opinion. So, yeah, man, I'm still going to be picking Neil Magny here. Max Griffin on a decent win streak himself over Carlos Condit. Kenan Song knocked him out, and Ramiz Brahimaj with that weird TKO ear injury. That wasn't that pretty, but in a split decision, which is relatively controversial, over loss to Alex Oliveira. Neil Magny, I think, is just the better fighter overall, and that's why I'm going to be picking him. Not really many people picking Max Griffin. I think he's just a little bit, I don't know, man. I just don't think he's really got it to make it to the top 15 here. I think Neil Magny's kind of proved that he can do that, man. I mean, he's been in there with good guys. He's won and he's lost. He's kind of just been there. He wasn't the Ultimate Fighter as well, which I kind of like. But yeah, it's an interesting one. But I'm picking Neil Magny to win the fight.